Hey yo guys, this one's just gonna be a quick video voicing me just saying thank you to UWA Hardcore, which was one of the top independent promotions here in the province of Ontario and basically all of Canada. They just had their final show yesterday with, a pretty stacked card for UWAs. I mean, it was a final show. They went out with a bang. The card was pretty stacked, and really I just want to say thank you to UWA Hardcore for the memories. Thank you for putting on some top-notch show quality, that I guess ROH couldn't compare them with, even when you were just a small independent in Canada and not even getting much recognition. So I just like to thank you for that. I mean, UWA Hardcore, they brought in major talent, which in the long run I would help with the hurting. I mean, they kept bringing in Ultimo Dragon on numerous occasions. That had to hurt the paycheck there, which sucks. They brought in Liger on one occasion, which that itself may be the most expensive guy they ever had to bring in. They'd also bring in, various notables on the independents in North America here. They bring in fellow Canadians from IWS and, Ring of Honor now, and Kevin Steen, El Generico, Tyler Black. They're bringing Eric Cannon. They brought in the Motor City Machine Guns, Delirious, Josh Prohibition, who was champion for a very long time. I mean, they built up their own stars in Lionel Knight and Bishop, who were some of the best lightweights in in Canada at the time. I'm wondering where they're going to be going from here. Hopefully, they get a chance at some promotions. Just this year, I mean, they bring in the Blackout too. I mean, just this year they just brought in some Chikara guys. I think they were starting to develop a working relationship with the Chikara, bringing in Jimmy Jam Olsen and Brody Lee, and they put on an excellent match live. One of the best matches I've seen this year live. Same with the very first Resurrection show. When they brought in, they had one of the best tag matches I've ever seen live in Blackout versus Up in Smoke for the UWA vacant tag team titles. Also in that show, the main event was Josh Prohibition defending the UWA Canadian Championship against Petey Williams. So that was pretty fun. But I guess in the long run, it was zoning issues. They couldn't use their original arena for a very long time, which hurt them. And then money, like I said, bringing in talent and stuff, that had to hurt. Got this new arena here in Toronto, but zoning issues again happened. And I thought this year would have been a great year for them, but that sucks for them. I mean, their final card looked like a great experience. You had Josh Prohibition versus Lionel Knight, Matt Cross, who was a mainstay there, versus Bishop. You had a ladder match between the Ring Crew Express and the Flatliners, which is a pretty good Canadian tag team. And you also had a fans bring the weapons match in Nikki Watts versus the Blue Jabroni. And if you've seen some of their matches from the last year's Tournament of Death from UWA Hardcore, it was probably the best match of the first round, maybe the best match of the tournament. But they eventually started to get hurt. I mean, they lost. Their founder left the in-ring, I guess, to work in there, but he was their main draw. Really, a true Canadian independence who'd always be there. Osiris, he left. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna miss them. I mean, they had one of the best ladder matches I've ever seen in Ruckus versus I think it was Nikki Watts. I mean, they had a great series of matches. I mean, their Tory Mon versus UWA was some excellent stuff, and you had the dream match of Liger and Ultimo Dragon versus the Motor City Machine Guns. You know how many promotions wish that match was in there, and it happened in this little indie promotion known as UWA Hardcore. So I would just like to thank them for the matches, the memories, the stars, the experience. The crowds were always great. It was always a fun atmosphere to be in, and I'm just gonna miss them. And I mean, now we're running low on big independents here. I mean, we have Blood, Sweat, and Ears, but they run not even really near Toronto. They run like in Timmins and London. Really, that's gonna be a big loss here. And in the Atlantic Canada, they got some good independents there, but we really don't get much coverage there. So I'd like to thank UWA Hardcore once again thanks for the memories, thanks for the matches, and God bless to everyone else who works there, and hope they find work somewhere else. I know Josh Prohibition returned to CZW to be part of the best of the best. Hopefully he can continue there. Hopefully, some of these independent. I think Jakar would be a great fit for Bishop and Lionel Knight to be a tag team. If you haven't seen them, and if to get some of their merchandise, they're gonna be releasing all their DVDs that they haven't had. There's a big bundle gonna happen, like $60 worth of stuff. So go keep checking it out. I'll keep you posted with updates on the site and the merchandise, because there's some shows you probably that would probably blow your mind. I mean, get definitely the Toryumon stuff from last year, and get the DVDs from this year. I mean, that are available right now. I mean, like I said, Jimmy Jam Olsen versus Brody Lee was an excellent match. Up in Smoke versus Blackout, excellent tag match. One of maybe the best tag match that a lot of you haven't seen this year. What else? Even the pop that Petey Williams gets before he has to get this Maple Leaf Muscle thing. Oh, it's just excellent. Just thanks to UWA, and keep checking out the merchandise. Just thanks, and thanks for the memories.